सुता रब जागदा, तू सुता रब जागदा, तेरी दाते नाल फरीद फरीदा टुरया टुरया जा, फरीदा टुरया टुरया जा, फरीदा टुरया टुरया जा, फरीदा टुरया टुरया जा।
नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिमु अला रसूलिहिन नबिय्यिल अमीनिल मकीनिल हनील करीमिर रऊफुर रहीम। अम्मा बाद, अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। इन्नल लज़ीना आमनू व अमिलुस सालिहाति सयजअलु लहुमुर रहमानु वुद्दा। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुन नबियुल करीम। नहनु अला ज़ालिका लमिनश शाहिदीन वश्शाकिरीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लू अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व बारिक व सल्लिम सलातन व सलामन अलैका या रसूलल्लाह व अला आलिका व अस्हाबिका व अहली बैतिका या हबीबल्लाह। हर एक बिगड़ा काम हो गया, मेरा हर एक बिगड़ा काम हो गया, जब से मैं फरीद का गुलाम हो गया। ऐसे नहीं, बाबा से बुलंद रखे सुभान। अब आपका जोश अरूज पर रहना चाहिए, कम नहीं। फिर कह दे सुभान अल्लाह। जरा बाबा फरीदुद्दीन गंजे शकर का नारा हो जाए, हक फरीद। ऐसे नहीं, आपको मजा नहीं। खिताब मैंने करना है और आपको साथ लेकर चलना है। बाबा से बुलंद हाथों को भी बुलंद करें और बाबा फरीदुद्दीन की आज ऐसी ये इरादा करें कि आज फरीद की तवज्जो मिल जाए, और जिसको तवज्जो मिल जाएगी उसका बेड़ा पार हो जाएगा। हक फरीद। हाथ अब कुछ बुलंद नहीं हुए, मैं देख रहा हूँ सब हाथ बुलंद देखना चाह रहा हूँ। हक फरीद, हक फरीद, बाबा से बुलंद हक फरीद। मेरा हर एक बिगड़ा हुआ काम हो गया, जब से मैं फरीद का गुलाम हो गया, जब से मैं फरीद का गुलाम हो गया। और हम बेकसों पे इतने करम है फरीद के, हम बेकसों पे कितने करम है फरीद के। सुल्तान बन गए हैं जो मंगते फरीद के, सुल्तान बन गए हैं जो मंगते फरीद के। गंजे शकर की आल और मोहब्बत का है असर, गंजे शकर की आल और मोहब्बत का है असर। रहमत लुटा रहे हैं जो जलवे फरीद के, रहमत लुटा रहे हैं जो जलवे फरीद के। और कितने करोड़ उनकी, कितने करोड़ उनकी अता से सवर गए। कितने करोड़ उनकी अता से सवर गए। बढ़ते हैं जो वजीफे मेरे फरीद के, बढ़ते हैं जो वजीफे मेरे फरीद के। और वलियों को उनके दर की गदाई पे नाज है, वलियों को उनके दर की गदाई पे नाज है। कितने बुलंद तो आला है रस्ते फरीद के। It is indeed the great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the blessing of His beloved Rasul Sayyidul Awwaleen wal Akhirin Sayyidina Muhammad Mustafa Ahmad Mujtaba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that we are gathered here on the conference in memory of the urs of the one of the greatest saints ever to pass, the great saint, the chosen saint and accepted saint in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. the bargah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidina Baba Fariduddin Ganje Shakar Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh. And I thank wholeheartedly, especially today's host, our brother Shakar Gondal Sahib, who has again in the second year running of this conference has given me a chance to be amongst you and be amongst the lovers and those who believe in the awliya and love the awliya. You know, there's a tradition in the English culture that when you speak and you understand something, you respond by clapping hands. I do not want you to respond by clapping hands. But just so I know you're understanding what I am saying, I want you to respond by saying Subhanallah. The moment you do not say Subhanallah, I will be confused. Have you understood what I've said or have you not? So no clapping hands, but definitely say Subhanallah. But if you say it at this level, I will not be able to hear you. Loudly say it. Subhanallah. Now say it with a smiling face. Subhanallah. You're in the mahfil of Baba Fariduddin. Again say it loudly. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, the beautiful verse I read before you, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدْءًا. Many kings have passed. Nobody knows about their whereabouts today. Many princes have passed. Nobody knows about their whereabouts today. Many personalities have passed. Nobody knows about their whereabouts today. Many rich entities have passed. Nobody knows about their whereabouts today. But in all these centuries, in all these years, there was one Baba Fariduddin that has passed. And up to today, and until the day of Qiyamah, everybody knows and everybody commemorates the Urs of Baba Fariduddin. And everybody is aware of Baba Fariduddin. The question is why? How comes many kings have passed and we have forgot about them? Many princes have passed, we have forgot about them. Many kings, many personalities have passed, we have forgot about them. How comes today we have not forgot about Baba Fariduddin? This is not mine and your decision. The Holy Quran says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. It says, surely for those who believe and do good deeds, surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will place His love in their hearts. So those who come and challenge us and say, why today are we saying the name of Baba Fariduddin? Why today are we saying the name of the awliya? Why today are we remembering the awliya? Remember, this is not mine or your decision. Quran says, سَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدْءًا. This commemorating the awliya, commemorating the remembrance of the awliya, loving the awliya, having a connection with the awliya, this is not mine or your decision. Quran says this is the decision of Allah. जब से फरीद के मंगतों में आ गया, फिर ढीले गेर को 5 मिनट, जब से फरीद के मंगतों में आ गया, चमका नसीब ऐसा मुरादों को पा गया, चमका नसीब ऐसा मुरादों को पा गया, बेरंग था बेनूर था महरूम जिंदगी, बेरंग था बेनूर था महरूम जिंदगी, निस्बत के रंग ने मुझे अनमोल कर दिया. The Holy Quran says that this is the decision that has been made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for those people who question the urs of the awliya, and those people who question why we have gatherings such as this, and those people who say is it permissible or is it not permissible to have gatherings such as this, before you come to question us that why we love the awliya and why we have gatherings such as this, remember this is not just something we are doing on our own accord. Quran says this has been a decision made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ganje Shakar की मीठी नजर जिस पे पड़ गई, ऐसे के सुभान अल्लाह कि आज गंजे शकर की मीठी नजर हम पे भी पड़ गई. हमारा अकीदा है कि अल्लाह के औलिया इकराम जो हैं वो जिंदा है. बोले बवाज़े बुलंद वो बोलिए, और घूम के बोले वो तो जिंदा है वल्लाह, तो जिंदा है वल्लाह, मेरी चश्मे आलम से छुप जाने वाले. गंजे शकर की मीठी नजर जिस पे पड़ गई, पल भर में उसकी बिगड़ी हुई बात बन गई, पल भर में उसकी बिगड़ी हुई बात Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, reported by Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala, he said the first batch to enter paradise, the first group to enter paradise, and for those who understand Urdu, for the first group to enter paradise is mentioned by Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam even before the accountability begins, even before Hisab Kitab begins. The first group to enter paradise, the Prophet said, will be the group of the awliya. Will be the group of the awliya. Then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, he describes them. He says, and their faces will be shining of light. And look how the hadith, look how my beloved Prophet explains it. He says their faces will be shining of light. And what light will they be shining? What light will occur from their faces as though it is the light of the moon? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and from their body, in fact the words of hadith are from their sweat. From their sweat you will be able to smell the fragrance of castor. And Allah said, the Prophet says, and for their use, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them pots and pans of gold and silver. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet says furthermore, he says that there will be no dispute amongst them. There will be no envy amongst them. There will be no hasad amongst them. So we understand those who have hasad cannot be in the lineage of the awliya. Hadith says there will be no dispute amongst them, no hasad amongst them. And then the Prophet says, and then all of their hearts joined together will be like the example of one heart. And even on the day of Qiyamah, when they're entering into paradise, on their tongue will be the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even in their life hair was the tasbih of Allah. Even in their qabr is the tasbih of Allah. And according to this hadith, muttafaq alayh, no one can challenge it. According to this hadith, even when they're going into paradise, on their tongue will be the tasbih of, say it loudly, tasbih of, loudly say it, tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, it's mentioned by Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Hadith al-Qudsi. And what is Hadith al-Qudsi? Hadith al-Qudsi is that hadith, that is the kalam, the words of Allah, the words of Allah, and the tongue of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Subhanallah. The tongue of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mentioned in the Hadith al-Qudsi that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, anyone who has hatred, listen to this very carefully, open your ears and listen to this hadith, Hadith al-Qudsi. Anyone who has hatred with the awliya, against the awliya, their war is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their war is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So today, those people who accuse us that we love the awliya Allah so much that we enter into the level of shirk. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. How insane can you get? How mad can you get to say that we love the awliya so much that we are coming and entering into the level of shirk? Remember, oh ignorant person, this is not my saying or your saying. This is not the saying of any companion. This is not the saying of even the Prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, he says, hatta uhibbahu. He says, I love the awliya. Allah says, I love the awliya. Today if somebody questions us, why do we love Baba Fariduddin? Answer them through Hadith al-Qudsi. It's not us. Allah loves Baba Fariduddin. Ganje Shakar Alay. Ganje Shakar. If someone questions us why we love the awliya, it is Allah. He says, I love them. I love Fariduddin. I love Moinuddin. I love Khwaja Mukhtiar Kaki. I love Khwaja Nizamuddin. I love Amir Khusro. I love Tata Ganjbakhsh. I love the awliya. I love Qawsul Azam, Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani. This is the Hadith al-Qudsi. Allah is saying this. So anyone who questions us why we love the awliya, through this hadith we understand we love the awliya because Allah loves the awliya. So when we are loving the awliya, my dear brothers, listen to this hadith. When we are loving the awliya, according to this hadith, Hadith al-Qudsi, we are in reality, in fact, loving the awliya, we are fulfilling the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. महफिल बाबा फरीद की है, उनका भी नारा लगना चाहिए, हक फरीद, हक फरीद, हक फरीद. Concentrate on the point I've just mentioned. Loving the awliya is the sunnah of Allah. It's a very important point, and I'm speaking with authenticity. Anyone who wants to challenge it, come. We're welcome to accept the challenge. Hadith is authentic. Hadith is Qudsi. And let's understand what is the difference between the commands of Allah and the sunnah of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us to pray. Aqimus salat. The scholars are here, they'll tell you up to 700 times Allah repeats, tells us to pray in the Holy Quran. Does He pray Himself? Say it. Does He pray Himself? No. Who is Allah going to pray to? He is the Creator. He tells us to pray but does not pray Himself, which means it's the command of Allah, not the sunnah. Sunnah is something that if Allah does Himself and He commands us to do, that will become His sunnah. Over here He tells us to pray, doesn't pray Himself, which means this is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hukam of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us to fast. With sahar and with iftar, does He fast Himself? Say it. What do you know? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us to go for hajj, give zakat. Does He do this Himself? No. These are all the sunnah, these are all the commands of Allah. Allah tells us to do them, but He does not do them Himself. Then we turn towards the Holy Quran and the Holy Hadith and we ask, oh Allah, everything so far, every amal so far, whether it's prayer, you tell us to do it, you do not do it yourself. Whether it's fasting, you tell us to do it, you do not do it yourself. Whether it's hajj, you tell us to do it, you do not do it yourself. Whether it's zakat, you tell us to do it, you do not do it yourself. Whether it's nawafil, you tell us to do it, you do not do it yourself. Oh Allah, is there such a thing that you do and you tell us to do at the same time? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from amongst His many sunnahs, He says, yes, there's two things which I do and I command you to do it as well. And if you do it, you will be fulfilling the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah, oh Allah, what are the two things that you do and tell us to do? He says, number one, darood upon Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sending darood, this is something that I do and I tell you to do. When you will send darood upon Rasulullah, in fact this will be the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number two, He says, loving the awliya, honoring the awliya. He says, I love the awliya and I honor the awliya. If you love and honor the awliya, you will in fact be fulfilling the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. उनका करम हुआ तो सब काम हो गए, कह देना सुभान अल्लाह। उनका करम हुआ तो सब काम हो गए, जो गर्दिशों के थे जो हमले जो गर्दिशों के थे नाकाम हो गए, हमले जो गर्दिशों के थे नाकाम हो गए। आए हमारी बस में तसव्वुर में जब फरीद, आए हमारे बस में तसव्वुर में जब फरीद, रोशन हमारे घर के दरो दीवार हो गए। Now going on to the next hadith. Concentrate. Again, this hadith is mentioned in Abu Dawud and various other books of hadith. Translate this hadith, reported by Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala. Very beautiful hadith. Are you ready to listen to it? Yeah. Say subhanallah. Loudly. I told you my condition. My condition is loudly. Cameramans will come and go. People will walk left and right. I want you to concentrate on me. Because the words I am saying are not my words, are the words of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Concentrate on me. Hadith again, mentions Abu Dawud, mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who is narrating this hadith? Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala. He narrates this hadith. He says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on the day of Qiyamah, which day? On the day of Qiyamah, there will be such a group of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant them a very high status. Subhanallah. Allah will grant them a very high status. Then the Prophet says they will not be the Anbiya, neither will they be the martyrs, the Shahada. Neither will they be the Anbiya, nor will they be the Shahada. Neither the Anbiya nor the Shahada. So over here when this hadith is explained, people say, so the Prophet ﷺ is probably referring to the companions, to his Sahaba. This is incorrect. Because who is he addressing? He is addressing his Sahaba. He's speaking to his companions. He's speaking to Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala. The companions, if he was speaking about his companions, then why would he say there will be a group of people? Why did he not say, oh my Sahaba, this will be your shan on the day of judgment? So which means that when he is speaking to the Sahaba, he is not referring to Sahaba. No doubt the status of the Sahaba is very high. The Prophet said, all of my companions are like shining stars. All of my companions are like shining stars. Anyone you will follow, you will be rightly guided towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But over here from this hadith, he is not referring to companions, because he is speaking to the companions. He is addressing the companions. So he says on the day of judgment, the Prophet is saying on the day of judgment, there will be such a group of people, neither will they be the prophets, Anbiya, nor will they be the Shuhada, but their status will be so high. Now the companions want to hear, oh Rasulullah, how high will their status be? The Prophet starts speaking, and he says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, the batch of people, they will be seated on stages of nur. Now the companions their heartbeat is fasting even faster. Oh Rasulullah, who are they? The Prophet has said they are not the Anbiya, and they are not the Say it, they are not the Shuhada. Now the companions, their heart is fasting, beating faster and faster. Oh Rasulullah, who are they? And the Prophet is now describing them. He says their faces will be shining. They will be seated on stages of nur. And he says, Allah will order the angels, our angels, don't allow them to sit on the floor. No, our angels make preparations. They are to sit on members of nur. Now the companions over here. The first thing we understand from this hadith before I go on is the question that people say today. This mahfil, this conference of Baba Fariduddin where we're discussing the awliya, they say this mahfil is wrong. This was not done by the companions, it was not done by Rasulullah. From this hadith we understand what is the Prophet doing. The same thing that we are doing today, we are discussing about the awliya, speaking about the awliya, loving the awliya. What is the Prophet doing in this gathering? Sahih hadith. He's speaking to his companions and he's saying, do you know there will be a batch of people whose faces will be shining? Do you know their faces will be shining? Do you know they will be seated on stages of nur? Do you know they will be seated on members of nur? What is the Prophet doing? Today we are discussing the awliya with the lovers of the awliya. There the Prophet was discussing the awliya with his companions, Sahaba Ikram. So we understand from this hadith up to this point that even speaking about the awliya and describing the awliya, describing their faces, describing their looks, describing their characteristics, even discussing such things about them, this is not something that me and you have made up. We do out of our love. No, from this we understand describing the awliya is the direct sunnah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Are we proud to love the awliya? Are we proud to love the awliya? Praise your hands. Are we proud to love the awliya? Alhamdulillah. So the Prophet says, neither will they be anbiya, nor will they be shuhada. The companions then asked them, tukhbiruna man hum ya Rasulullah. Oh Rasulullah, tell us, who are they? Subhanallah. Do you want to hear who they are? Tell me. Say it. Tukhbiruna man hum. The companions say, oh Rasulullah, tell us who they are. The Prophet, he describes them and he keeps their identity a secret, a suspense. He says, my dear companions, their dresses will also be full of nur. Their faces will be shining of nur. Their sweat will be smelling of fragrance of kastur. They will be seated on stages of nur. They will be placed on members of nur. Then the Prophet says, and when it comes time to sit them, they will be told, these are your stages, sit here. He says, they will not sit themselves. Allah will say, oh angels, move away. Let me myself, according to my status, let me seat them on the seats of nur. Subhanallah. Allah will seat them on the seats of nur. The companions are now saying, oh Rasulullah, now tell us, over here, tell us, oh Rasulullah, who are they? The hadith says, that Allah will say, yujlisuhum. Allah will tell them, sit down. And they will sit down on hearing this description, that they will be, how they will be shining and how their faces will be shining, how their dresses will be shining. On hearing this description, the awliya, and on hearing this description, the companions, they say, oh Rasulullah, have friends, and these are the beloved chosen people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those who will be treated in such a way, those who will be seated in such a way, those whose faces will shine, those who will smell of kastur, those who Allah will see according to His sayers. Today me and you say that they are like us. We say that we and them don't differ. No! Neither are they like us, neither were they like us, neither will they be like us. These are those that are the chosen friends and accepted friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from this hadith, oh ignorant people, listen. For all of those who do not believe in Urs and deny Urs, refuse Urs and refuse the love and the of the awliya and refuse gatherings such as this. This is hadith Qudsi. Listen and listen very carefully from this hadith. And the point I'm trying to bring across and what I want you to listen to is for those who have hatred towards the awliya, those who dislike the awliya, those who turn away from the awliya. From this hadith we understand, if you turn away from the awliya, your war is not with us. Your war is not with us. Turning away from the awliya, this hadith says, turning away from the awliya, your war is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you have enough strength, if you have enough power, then try to challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And surely you will fail in doing this. You will fail in doing this. Now, coming towards the end of my lecture, just one event I would like to mention of the life of Sayyidina Baba Fariduddin Ganje Shakar, Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh. Say subhanallah. You know what Baba Farid I'm speaking about? The one who goes into Medina. As he goes into Medina, the Prophet says, oh Fariduddin, after when you finish in Medina, after traveling to Medina, when he enters into Medina, Baba Fariduddin, the Prophet says, oh Fariduddin, we welcome you, and your next destination will not be back home, no. Oh Fariduddin, your next destination will be Baghdad. Baba Fariduddin is thinking, why Ya Rasulullah? How come? Why is my next destination Baghdad? Baba Fariduddin, after completing his visit from Medina, he enters into Baghdad. As he goes into Baghdad, he meets with Sayyidina Abdul Wahhab. Who is Sayyidina Abdul Wahhab? He is the son of Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani Rahmatullahi. He meets with Sayyidina Abdul Wahhab. He says, the Prophet has ordered me to come here. Sayyidina Abdul Wahhab said, are you Fariduddin? He says, yes, I am Fariduddin. He takes out a box of treasure. He opens the box, he says, oh Fariduddin, this has been reserved for you. Baba Fariduddin opens the box. When he opens the box, he is amazed and shocked to see the karam of Rasulullah. That when he opens the box, inside the box, he finds the Imam Sharif, the turban of Rasulullah. The Prophet has gifted him with his Imam. And today me and you will question the status of Farid. The one who was gifted the Imam Sharif of Rasulullah. When he looks in the bowl, when he looks in the box even more, you know what he finds? He finds the bowl, wooden bowl. He says, oh Abdul Wahhab, what is this? He says, this is the bowl of Rasulullah. Allah. Ulfat ka jam mujhko nazar se pila diya. Keh dena subhanallah. Taiba se mangai jati hai, सीनों में छुपाई जाती है, तौहीद की मैं प्यालों से नहीं नजरों से पिलाई जाती है। उल्फत का जाम मुझको नजर से पिला दिया, बदके हुए फकीर को रास्ता दिखा दिया, बदके हुए फकीर को रास्ता दिखा दिया। नजरों में मेरी पर गई सूरत फरीद की, नजरों में मेरी पर गई सूरत फरीद की। गंजे शकर के फैज ने मुझे क्या क्या बना दिया, गंजे शकर के फैज ने मुझे क्या क्या बना दिया। I'm not going to go into the life, the depth of the life of Baba Fariduddin, but one event which is very, very beautiful event. And listen to this and concentrate. And this is where I will end. Baba Fariduddin for 13 years, how many? 13 years he used to serve the langar. He used to serve the food at the darbar, at the headquarters of his Shaykh, Khwaja, you should know this, Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki. How many years? How many? And you know what his job was? He would get the flour, bake the flour, place the flour on his head, place the flowers on his head. He would go to the woman with a hoe and he would say, can you cook these breads? She would cook the breads, then he would bring the breads back and he would distribute them. I'm not saying this was the disciples of Baba Fariduddin. No, I'm talking about himself. Baba Fariduddin Ganje Shakar, how many years? 13 years. Now concentrate. One day Baba Fariduddin, Sayyidina Fariduddin Ganje Shakar, Rahmatullahi ta'ala, he's walking and he hears an announcement. Where is he going? He is going towards the woman with the hoe to get the breads cooked. You will enjoy this event. He's going towards to get the breads cooked. And on the way he hears an announcement. Listen to this announcement. The announcement is being made. The announcement that is being made by Fakhruddin Razi, Rahmatullahi. Hazrat Fakhruddin Razi, he makes an announcement and he says, my announcement today is anyone who comes and who visits during this time, who visits my Shaykh, i.e. the Shaykh of Fakhruddin Razi. He says, anyone who comes and visits my Shaykh, looks at my Shaykh, at the Shaykh of Fakhruddin Razi, whose name is Najmuddin Kubra. Anyone who sees Najmuddin Kubra today, he will become a dweller of paradise. He will be assured paradise. When Baba Fariduddin is going on his way, he hears this announcement. And as he hears this announcement, he rushes towards the woman with the hoe. As he gets to the woman with the hoe to cook the bread, he says, my dear woman, my dear mother, today serve me fast, serve me quick. Here's the flour, cook my breads quick, I want to return quick. But before you serve me, listen to this. Before you serve me, tell me how comes, how comes that I am the first to come and the last to be served. Every day I come, say I come, and I am served. Allahu Akbar. Baba Sahib, he said this one sentence, how comes every day I am the first to come and I'm served last? As soon as he said this question, as soon as he posed this question at the elderly woman on the hoe, as soon as he raises this question, that woman, she screams and she faints. She wakes back up, she cries and she says, Baba Sahib, this was a secret that I kept within me. This was a secret, but today you have asked me, how comes you are the first to come and I serve you last? The reason why you are the first to come and I serve you last is, Baba Sahib, the reason for this is because your deed is my Eid. I look at your deed is my Eid. Teri deed ko apni Eid kahu. Har waqt farid kahu. Teri deed ko apni Eid kahu. Har waqt farid kahu. Deti hu sada khwaja kaliyar. Abad rahe tera paak patan. Abad rahe tera paak patan. Mangton pe nazar Baba Ganje Shakar. Abad rahe tera paak patan. Says, oh Farid, you come here, and once I'm cooking my bread, my eyes remain on you, oh Farid. And by looking at you, I find great pleasure and great love and great honor. That's why even though you're the first to come, I serve you last. The reason why I serve you last, so I can keep you with me for more longer and look at you for more longer. Today Baba Farid says, okay, we accept your love. Akal wale, hai. Qari sahab, akal wale teri dunya se pereshan ge. Akal wale teri dunya se pereshan ge. Ishq wale hain jo tujhe har rang mein pehchan ge. Ishq ki baatein hain. So he says, today serve me quick. Baba Fariduddin says, today, say it today, serve me quick. The woman, you know what she says? She says, oh Baba Sahib, why? Why shall we serve you quick today? Have you heard the announcement? Allahu Akbar. Is it because you have heard the announcement of Fakhruddin Razi? Fakhruddin Razi has announced that anyone today who sees Najmuddin Kubra, he will be a dweller of paradise. Is it because you want to quickly rush and you want to see Najmuddin Kubra so you can become a dweller of paradise? Is this the reason? When the woman says this question, poses this option to Baba Fariduddin, at this time Baba Fariduddin, he screams and he cries and he says, no, my dear woman, my dear mother, this is not the reason. I do not wish to go and see Najmuddin Kubra. It's the opposite. I wish to go and see my Shaykh before I can see Najmuddin Kubra. It's the opposite. I do not wish to see Najmuddin Kubra. He says the reason why I do not wish to to see Najmuddin Kubra is because since my eyes have seen my beloved Shaykh Kaki, since I have seen Hazrat Bukhtiyar Kaki, my eyes don't turn away from him. All the time in my eyes is my Shaykh, and I don't want to be rushing back. And in between my journey, Najmuddin Kubra may come in between and my eyes lay on him. No, I want to avoid my eyes to lay on him. Therefore, I want to rush back. So again, my eyes can see Najmuddin Kubra. Again, my eyes cannot see Najmuddin Kubra, but again, my eyes can see my Shaykh, Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki Rahmatullahi. So she makes the bread. Now listen. As she makes the bread, Baba Sayyid Sabir, he gets the bread, he runs back to the darbar of his Shaykh. As he runs back, Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki, he looks at his murid, Baba Fariduddin. He says, "Oh Farid, how comes you rushed back today? Was there any announcement that you heard on the way?" Allah. How the Shaykh and how the true awliya, they know everything. Is our Iman, they know? Say it, they know. They're aware of us. How will they be our Shaykh if they're not aware of the situation of their murid? They are aware of everything. He says, "How comes? Tell me how comes that you have come back very quick today?" Again, continue your concentration. Nare Takbir, Nare Risalat, Nare Risalat, Ulama Ahle Sunnah. Concentrate on what I'm saying. I'm ending with this event. He says, "Oh my beloved Murid, Fariduddin, how comes? Tell me, how comes? How comes that you heard the announcement that anyone who sees Najmuddin Kubra, he will become the dweller of paradise? How comes you didn't stop and go to look at Najmuddin Kubra? If you had seen Najmuddin Kubra, you would have also become a dweller of paradise for this reason." Why did you not want to become a dweller of paradise for this reason? When he Shaykh Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki, when he says this, Baba Fariduddin, he begins to cry. He cries and he puts his head in the feet of his Shaykh and he says, "Oh my dear Shaykh, रंगतें कितनी चरी रंग तुम्हारा लेकर, रंगतें कितनी चरी रंग तुम्हारा लेकर, हम क्या से क्या हो गए नाम तुम्हारा लेकर, हम क्या से क्या हो गए नाम तुम्हारा लेकर." Oh my Shaykh Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki, since my eyes have seen you, I do not wish to see anyone else. Today, if Fakhruddin Razi is announcing that anyone who sees his Shaykh Najmuddin Kubra, he becomes the dweller of paradise, then what about the one who day and night sees Bukhtiyar Kaki? I day and night look at you. I see your face in the morning. I see your face in the evening. I serve you in the day. I serve you in the night. I do not take my eyes off you. How comes if I look at you, will I not become the dweller of paradise? Now listen. When his Shaykh hears this, when the Shaykh Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki, he hears this from his beloved Murid Baba Farid, you know what he says? He responds and he replies. He says, "Oh Fariduddin, we accept your love." Say Subhanallah. Now listen to this sentence. He says, "Oh Fariduddin, we accept your love." Now listen to what Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki responds. He says, "Over there, over there, the Murid of Najmuddin Kubra, Fakhruddin Razi, he's saying anyone who sees Najmuddin Kubra, he will become the dweller of paradise. Over here, the Shaykh of Fakhruddin, over here, the Shaykh of Baba Fariduddin, Ganje Shakar Rahmatullahi Alayh, the Shaykh of Baba Fariduddin, over here, he is saying that anyone who sees my Murid, Baba Fariduddin, not today, but ever in my life, anyone who one time sees my Murid, Baba Fariduddin, he will also become the dweller of paradise." Over here, the Murid, over there, Murid is announcing, over here, the Shaykh is announcing. Meri namaz hai yahi, mera sajood hai yahi, tu mere roobaroo rahe, main tere roobaroo. Ending my lecture with this one event, that was the status of Farid. That his Shaykh declared, anyone who sees Farid, he becomes the dweller of paradise. Announcement has been made by Khwaja Qutbuddin Bukhtiyar Kaki. But the question is, oh Fariduddin, how did you reach this status? How did you? Say it, how did you? Reach this status. This is what I'm going to end on. This status did not come easy, my dear brother. One day it was the cold winter night. I'm finishing off here. One day it was the cold winter night. And Baba Fariduddin, he was about to be tested. Tested by who? By his Shaykh Qutbuddin Mukhtar Kaki Rahmatullahi. Concentrate on this event. In the winter night, he calls upon his murid, "Oh Farid, come here." Fariduddin comes to the service, late night, very cold, freezing cold, winter night. He says, "Oh my dear Shaykh, how can I serve you?" He says, "Oh Fariduddin, go and get some water so I can make wudu. Get some water so I can make." I'm telling you how Farid became Farid. Subhanallah. Go and get some water for my, say it, for my wudu. Baba Fariduddin, he accepts. He says, "Ya Shaykh, I will go and get some water. Give me a few moments." He leaves the darbar of his Shaykh to go and look for water. He goes to the masjid. He fills up a bowl of water. As he fills up the bowl of water, he touches the water and he says, "It's cold. How can I allow cold water? How can I allow my Shaykh to do his wuzu with cold water? And how can I pour cold water? How can I pour cold water on top of the feet of my Shaykh? No, my love does not allow this." He takes that water and he places it aside. So now what does Baba Fariduddin do? He begins to roam the streets in the night. Late night, winter, cold, freezing night. Baba Fariduddin is on the streets, looking, where can I receive warm water from? Where can I receive? In search of, say it, in search of warm water. Baba Fariduddin, from a distance, he sees smoke coming out from the house, indicating, symbolizing that there's a fire on at the house. Baba Fariduddin, he rushes towards that house. He knocks on the door. An elderly woman opens the door. He says, "My dear mother, I have come." As soon as the elderly woman opens the door, she says, "Tell me, who are you and what do you want? Look at the time, it's late in the night, it's winter night. Who are you? What do you want at this time of the night?" He says, "My name is Farid." Haq Farid! Haq Farid! He says, "My name is," say it, "my name is." Even when you remember the name of the awliya, you will receive reward for this. Say it, "My name is." She says, "What do you want? This time of the night, what do you want?" He says, "I can see there's smoke coming in your house. There's a fire in your house. I want one bowl of hot water. That's all I ask for." She says, "Why? Why do you want this hot water?" He says, "For the wuzu of my Shaykh." Allah. For the wuzu of my Shaykh. She says, "Okay, I will give you," now listen, "I will give you that water, but will you be able to pay the price for the water? Are you ready to pay the price? Nothing comes free. Are you ready to pay up for the water?" Baba Fariduddin says, "I'm ready to pay the price." "What is the price? How much do you want? How much do you want? Tell me, I'll give it to you now." She looks at Farid, she says, "No, I don't want rupees." Allahu Akbar. "I'm not after your pocket, I don't want rupees. The price," Allah says, "the price of one bowl of water will be one of your eyes." Allah. One bowl of water will be one of your, say it, one of your eyes. Now what does Baba Fariduddin say? Does he run away? Does he say, "No, forget this offer"? Baba Fariduddin, he looks at her. He says, "Bring the bowl of water and bring a knife as well. Bring a bowl of water and also bring the knife as well." The woman, she brings the hot bowl of water, she brings the knife as well. Baba Fariduddin takes the knife from her hand. He places the knife around his eye and he takes out his eye and he places it in the palm of that woman. He places his eye in the palm of that woman. When that woman sees Baba Fariduddin take out his eye and place it on the palm, he says, "Oh Farid, so you paid so much for one bowl of water, you paid your eye? Does this water mean so much to you that for one bowl of water, you gave your eye away?" Baba Fariduddin, he's left smiling. He says, "Oh woman, you are shocked that I gave one eye for one bowl of water. I am shocked that this water came very cheap. I thought this water will cost a lot more. If this water was only worth one of my eyes, then here, take my eye, give me the water. And I'm not the one to leave a debt behind. Hence why I've given you my eye on your palm. You can take my eye with you." Baba Fariduddin, now he takes his eye out, gives it to the woman, takes the bowl of water. Now he runs back to get to his Shaykh. As he's running back to get to his Shaykh, listen to this. in his mind is, if my Shaykh sees me with one eye missing, he will become distressed. He will say, oh Fariduddin, I did not say to you, get water and lose an eye. He will become upset, he will become worried. So what does Baba Fariduddin do? He takes his imam, he takes his turban and he lowers his turban, covering his eye. Allah, 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 kiye jaane se Allah na mile. Allah, Allah, kiye jaane se Allah na mile. Allah wale hain jo Allah se mila dete. He lowers the turban, covers one of his eyes. As he covers one of his eyes, he goes down, he rushes back to his Shaykh. As his Shaykh Khwaja Din Mukhtiar Kaki, he looks at him, he sees him, and he sees the bowl of water. He says, oh Fariduddin, how comes today your turban is lowered? Why is your turban low today? Why is your turban covering one of your eyes? Baba Fariduddin, he looks at his Shaykh Khwaja Qutbuddin Mukhtiar Kaki, Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, he looks at him and he says, oh my Shaykh, my beloved Shaykh, my eye has become infected. My eye is infected, that's why I have lowered my turban to avoid further infection. His Shaykh, he looks at him and he smiles. He gets his blessed hand, he places it on his turban and he raises up the turban. He says, oh Fariduddin, if your eye was infected, then now your eye is very well cured, oh Fariduddin. When he sees him hiring the turban, when he sees him taking the turban and uncovering his eye, Baba Fariduddin is amazed and shocked to see, as his Shaykh touches his eye and raises his turban, another shining eye has been replaced in the eye of Baba Fariduddin. Another eye has been replaced. When another eye was replaced, Baba Fariduddin said, when another eye was placed, this is when the time when his Shaykh says, now no infection, no affection will come even near you, O Fariduddin. This was the way that the awliya made efforts. And when you make efforts in such a way, when you have sincerity in such a way, when you have love for the awliya in such a way, when you have service in such a way, that's when you can even think of understanding the status of Baba Fariduddin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and grant us the understanding of the awliya and the love of the awliya and the honor of the awliya. I end by this share for Professor Saab. As you know, I end with this share where poet says, Jannat ka hai naqsha, Baba teri gali mein. इख्तिताम कर रहा हूँ, जैसे शुरू किया था ऐसे ही इख्तिताम करना चाहूँ. कह दे सुभान अल्लाह, आवाज़ बुलंद कह दे सुभान अल्लाह, हाथों को बुलंद करके कह दे सुभान अल्लाह, जोश के साथ फिर कह दे सुभान अल्लाह. जन्नत का है नक्शा, बाबा तेरी गली में. जन्नत का है नक्शा, बाबा तेरी गली में. अर्शे बरी का रास्ता, बाबा तेरी गली में. अर्शे बरी का रास्ता, बाबा तेरी गली में. मेरी ये तमन्ना, ये आरज़ू, ये हसरत, मेरी ये तमन्ना, ये आरज़ू, ये हसरत, निकले मेरा जनाजा बाबा तेरी गली में. आखिर दअवाना अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन.